Today, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio Cortez compared the immigration detention centers at our southern border to Holocaust concentration camps. Take a listen to this.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border, and that is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps. And if that doesn't bother you, we can have, whatever. I want to talk to the people that are concerned enough with humanity to say that we should not, that never again means something. And that the fact that concentration camps are now an institutionalized practice in the home of the free is extraordinarily disturbing. This week, immigrant children were moved to the same internment camps where the Japanese were held in the earlier 20th century. An administration that creates concentration camps is a presidency that creates concentration camps is fascist.
You heard it. AOC says concentration camps are exactly what the border detention centers are. How many children have been gassed to death in these border detention centers? How many people have been forcibly branded with tattoos like cattle? How many migrants have been brutally murdered? Oh, that's right, 0, none. Because in actual Nazi concentration camps, Jews and gypsies and the disabled and gay people were dragged from their homes, shipped like cattle to the concentration camps and death camps, subjected to torturous medical experiments, forced into slave labor, murdered by starvation, targeted by race and disability, gassed in murder chambers, and incinerated into ashes. And it's not only ignorant and false to say that our border detention centers are exactly the same thing, it's insulting to the millions of Jews around the world whose entire families were exterminated by the Nazis for the crime of being Jewish. Let's get something straight here. Our border detention centers house people who are caught crossing our border illegally. These people broke our laws, and yet they're given medical care, they're given advocates, they're given a roof over their head until they are sent back home to their own country. But by all means, Congresswoman, if you're offended by the immigration detention centers, then change the law. You're in Congress. You have the authority to do that. Change the law. Change the law about children being held for 20 days. Change the horrible catch and release policy that incentivizes the human trafficking of children. Change the asylum laws. Appropriate more money for humanitarian purposes. Build a wall. Invest in more border security technology. Hire more Border Patrol agents. Congresswoman, you can fix this problem, but you're not. Instead, you're using children, migrant children, as human pawns in your nasty game of politics. And you're lying. When you say the administration has established concentration camps, this is not hyperbole, you're lying. Just like you deliberately twisted the truth when you claimed children, immigrant children, were moved to the same internment camps where the Japanese were held in. What you're talking about, Congresswoman, is a U.S. Army base, Fort Sill. And in 2014, President Obama housed migrant children there too. And neither you nor any other Democrat said a single thing about it then. So if you really want to follow through on never again, then condemn anti-Semitism in your own party, from the likes of Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, the Women's March, radical hate preacher Louis Farrakhan, and every Democrat who has refused to condemn their association with him. And if you actually care about the migrant children, then do something to change the law and secure our border. Otherwise, we know you're just exploiting these migrant children for your own political gain. And that's my final point.